Tune in to the Real Estate Roundup with the River Counties Association of Realtors. Join us every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. on the Mix 104.1 as we explore the latest in real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or just love real estate, don't miss our expert advice and exclusive insights. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's explore the dynamic world of real estate in our vibrant River Counties community. Catch Real Estate Roundup and make your property dreams a reality. Welcome to the River Counties Real Estate Roundup. And today our guest is Adam Petty from Crye-Leike Realtors.
Hey,
Adam,
brother.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Adam, our audience would like to know a little bit more about you, and hopefully they can come away with a better understanding of what you're all about and what you're going to do for them and the market and everything else. So let's jump on into this, okay?
Yeah.
So start telling us a little bit about your background, what got you into this crazy business of real estate, why you're still in it,
right?
But let everybody know you're with Crye-Leike and what's going on here and why you're here.
Absolutely. Well, what most people don't know about me is I spent 26 years as an executive chef, restaurant owner, and an area director for restaurants.
Nice.
And I got out of that like just in the nick of time. I actually in my early 20s went through when the market crashed in 08.
Right.
I lost my house and I went through a foreclosure.
Sorry to hear that.
And a bankruptcy, and but I came out okay. We sold a restaurant and moved and bought another one, and we did okay. But it was just a terrible experience, and there was no one there to help. Like
Right.
You didn't know who to ask questions to, so you didn't know if what you were doing was right or backwards or what.
Kind of left on an island by yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, so when I did decide that I wasn't going to cook anymore, that I wasn't going to be in the restaurant business, the hours are brutal.
Sure.
And my wife and we have two only children.
Okay.
My daughter's 31 and my son's 13. And
Okay.
so I just didn't want to miss out on his youth and all the things that he does. So, I got into real estate, and the first thing I did was get a short sale and foreclosure designation to kind of be that person that I didn't have.
What year was that you got in the business?
7 years ago.
7 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I jumped right in and learned a lot my first year, and then I joined a real estate group in Oregon, ran by two of the nicest people in the entire world, boutique brokerage, and I just fell in love with how they did business, and I swore that's how I'd do it.
Okay. And you moved from Oregon then to here. When did you do all that? What brought you here also?
Yeah, right. Well, I moved here almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
We came on vacation.
All right.
And my son had been on 100 trains by the time he was 10 years old. He is a train fanatic. And so the reason we came here was to Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
Sure.
And my dad's best friend lived in Athens, and I had never been to Tennessee. And we decided we were going to do everything. We were going to see Nashville and Memphis and everything. Yeah. We saw the Chattanooga Choo-Choo. We went to Athens. We went to the underground lake. Have you never been there? That's amazing, the underground sea.
No, I have not.
It was awesome.
Put that on my list.
And then we just hung out with John, who's my dad's best friend, and just looked at everything. Yeah. And I absolutely fell in love with Cleveland. And I don't say it lightly because I've lived in a lot of places, but when I saw it, I knew I'd move here, and I knew I'd never leave.
Nice. And here you are.
And here I am.
Here you are. All right. Well, I'm glad you got through all the hard times and have put you and your family on a good path again. And, hopefully we never see those times ever again. That was not fun for anybody. So,
no.
Let's jump into a little bit more here as far as the local market. Everybody loves to hear about the market and obviously interest rates. And you see some stories this week that the feds might adjust rates coming down and what have you. But housing market, our local market, what advice would you give a buyer or a seller navigating through these kind of conditions that we're going through right now? And what are let's start with the sellers.
Okay.
Give your advice to the sellers, market insight.
Well, I own the rare properties team at Crye-Leike. So I have buyer's agents. And so I mostly deal with sellers.
Okay.
And what I would tell sellers right now is that preparation and strong marketing are what's critical. And so what I like to do is use very detailed and focused marketing. So I do a lot of things like getting a buyer prediction model for any house that I want to go and maybe interview to be the listing agent.
Sure. I
figure out who wants that house.
Okay.
Before I go to market it.
All right.
And having those kind of insights and that information for people is imperative, because I always tell people, and people that know me get tired of hearing my Adam-isms, but I always say anybody can be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
But it's so important that we're real estate experts.
Right.
Because, our cornerstones of our team are integrity and leading with love. And those two things go hand in hand. Sure. We're not here to sell houses. We're here to build lifelong relationships.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
I am here to help. That's the deal.
Yeah.
So
And it's all about the experience, too, for your clients.
Absolutely.
And usually, obviously sellers and buyers, but it's one of the most important things they'll probably do in their lifetime as far as transaction-wise.
Well, it's definitely the biggest decision they'll make.
Yeah.
I love first-time home buyers, so I'll just get that out there.
You get to see their face light up?
I do. There's nothing like walking somebody into a house that they fall in love with,
right?
And then getting to hand them the keys and watch them walk into that house and realize it's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's really the only way to build wealth. And so I build my business, and I continue to build my business on repeat business. I have people that we've sold them their first house, and then they've outgrown it, and we've sold them their second house.
Okay, there you go.
And then investment properties, teaching them how to invest in real estate. I love real estate. I know it sounds weird, but I love it.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because honestly, it's the only asset that in order to recognize the gains, you don't have to sell the asset. Everything else in the world, you have a classic car that's 50 years old, you spent $5,000 and you sell it for $100,000. Well, that's a great investment,
right.
But you don't have the car anymore.
Right. I hear you. Yep, I hear you. And, and sometimes it's a happy occasion, sometimes it's a sad occasion, but like you said, being part of that whole experience, that this is not just transactional.
Yeah.
This is more about relationship building, as you mentioned. What advice would you give to the buyers navigating this kind of market right now? Because we're starting to see houses sit a little longer, and people are a little confused. Do I buy now? Don't I buy now? Are interest rates coming down? What do I do? I mean, you got so many questions out there that just get confusing.
Absolutely. Here in Cleveland, the buyers are still adjusting to the rates. Right? It took them a while to adjust them to go up.
Right.
And now it's taken a while to adjust them to go down. But I would say that a well-priced, well-staged home still sells quickly.
Yeah.
And so the best time to buy in real estate is 10 years ago. Right. And the second best time to buy in real estate is today.
Yeah.
My dad, I love my dad. He always says, he has these little quips, and he says, you don't make money by waiting to buy real estate. You build wealth by buying real estate and waiting.
Yep.
And if you look at the house prices, they've gone up. And so people who own those homes gain equity without ever having to lose without ever selling their homes. And the other thing is, I have a lot of friends in the financial industry, and and I always like to talk about real estate because they either are estate planners or business people that help people build wealth. And I always ask the question, who's outperformed, the housing market or the stock market?
Right.
At any time in the last 100 years. And it's always the real estate market. So,
yeah, and I think that's the hang up some buyers get, that, well, the rates aren't where I want it to be, but what they can do once they get a rate, what they can do 3 years later or 3 months later if the rate comes down, they can do what? Go ahead, tell them.
Oh, absolutely. They can refinance, right? And they have some equity. And there's other things too. That's why I always like to talk to people and just share my experiences and my knowledge, because a perfect example is, a $500,000 house, if you get a $12,000 reduction, it'll save you about $70 a month in your mortgage payment.
Right.
But if you have a good lender and a good real estate expert working with you, and you can get that same $12,000 as a rate buy down,
right,
you can save $300 a month.
Yeah.
And as a person buying a house, you've done nothing different.
Right.
But because
how you structure it.
Yeah, you surrounded yourself with intelligent people that know what they're doing, that are working for you. That's the big thing.
Yourself, right?
Of course I am.
I hope so. Yeah, and you bring up a great point, because people think, well, let's just get the price lowest we can, and that's not always the best advantage for you.
Almost nobody buys a house. When you get qualified for a house price, that bank isn't qualifying you for that dollar amount. They're qualifying you for the payment.
For the payment.
Which is why your debt to income matters. It's why those things matter. So if we can drop that payment down $300, if you were comfortable with the payment before, that just means you can buy a more house.
Yeah. And the $300 helps you do other things.
Absolutely.
Whether you sock it away or you have to buy a car or you have some other life event that you need that $300, it's significant enough. And
I mean, you could take that $300 and you and your wife could go to a Cubs game.
right?
That would be great.
The Cubs game is going to be a whole other that's a whole other conversation we're going to have a radio show on.
That's a whole radio show.
If you don't know, Adam's a diehard Cub fan, and so am I. So we enjoy that. And the other thing too, interest rates being at 6% roughly. Let's just use that even number. It's $6 per thousand on your mortgage, and it really is a great rate. But we've been spoiled for all these years of the 2s and the 3s and the 4s, and maybe we'll see that. Odds are we're not going to see the 2s or 3s. It means things probably got worse in the economy, But we might see it get to 5 3/4 or 5 1/2 or whatever. But as you mentioned, refinance it.
Absolutely.
And you'll be fine. So,
well, most of the time, over the last 100 years, real estate appreciates at about 6%.
right.
So I've always said anything between 5.5% and 6.5% interest rate is a strong market both for buyers and for sellers.
Yep.
Because if you own the house, you're gaining the same amount of equity that you're spending in interest,
Right.
and the interest is tax deductible anyway.
Yep.
And on the other side of that is when you get to a point where you're not paying a ton in interest, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in,
Right.
then you've built 50% equity in your home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And for the audience to understand too, especially the buyers, that you get in the house, you figure out, like you said, with a great expert of your lending side, real estate expert as yourself, to help them get through that. And you figure out what is the best financing program and, what's the best down payment and everything else. But as you mentioned earlier, you're going to build wealth, and that's what it's about. And this is not a knock on renting, and I understand not everybody can always buy, and you have to rent for a while, but you can also help them get on a path where they can buy in a year or 6 months or a year and a half or whatever it might be, right? So
Absolutely.
if I'm struggling and I say, hey, I don't have a down payment, you can help me get to the lenders that and just we figure it out what's our plan, right?
Absolutely. We have lots of vendors, local banks, local credit unions. I got a great guy out of Knoxville. His name's Morgan Hardy. That's a plug. I love him. He does an amazing job. But I partner with people that have credit building programs as well.
Yeah.
Because I do understand that you may have a great job, but didn't last year.
Right.
Right. You may have a job you've had a long time and you've been working on your credit, but your credit score is not where it'll help to lower your payment. Because a lot of people don't understand you don't have to have an 800 credit score.
Right.
But the difference between a 640 and a 660 may be $100 a month.
Yeah.
Because the interest rate. So, I only work with lenders. I say only, but I try to only work with lenders that do have credit repair or credit services because that's so important.
Yeah. Yeah, and to get people on the right path, because you can't do it yourself.
No.
And we get, you have to rent. We've all rented, I'm sure. But at some point, you want to build that wealth, and you're not going to build it. And you're building the landlord's wealth, not yours.
You're always
Right.
paying somebody's mortgage.
Yeah.
Make it yours.
So today we got Adam Petty at Crye-Leike Realtors. Adam, go ahead. Give people your contact information here in the middle of our show so they know how to reach out to you. Phone number or email. What's the best?
Absolutely. My phone number is 423-819-1781. And my email address is adamsellstennessee@gmail.com. And that's the whole word Tennessee. Don't just put TN.
TN.
People do it. People do it. And it's hilarious.
All right, there you go. And we'll get that for you at the end of our show as well. So community and clients. So Crye-Leike is known for being deeply connected to community. How do you personally build relationships with your clients, stand out as that trusted realtor? You mentioned a few things. Anything else you want to add to that as far as community?
The thing about Cleveland, like I said, I'm going to stay here forever. I don't see people as transactions, and I never have. I see them, they're families, they're neighbors, and trust comes from transparency. It comes from having personal integrity and living your life with that. One of the ways that we like to give back to the community, and we do a lot of things, but one of the ways with Rare Properties is we partner with a home warranty company and a mortgage company, and we put together the Seed and Start Exchange.
Okay.
So I run the Cleveland, Tennessee Garden Club on Facebook, so feel free to go there, and I accept everybody because
All right.
gardening is my passion. Food's my passion. helping's my passion, right? So they all tie together. And so once a year we have a huge thing. I talk to a lot of farms and a lot of people that love to plant. And we bring a whole bunch of seeds and we bring a whole bunch of plants and we go and we set them all up and people come out and we feed them barbecue.
Nice.
I owned a barbecue restaurant, another
Right.
shameless plug. So we do barbecue and people love it. And honestly, we just give plants and seeds and little starts to anybody that comes. If they, like a lot of people like me, I have limited space to grow my garden.
Sure. Yeah.
Because Tennessee is huge trees.
Right.
So unless you're gonna cut them all down, you gotta kind of have got limited space. But I have a real hard time. I'll get 10,000 tomatoes. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
I think I had over 400 pounds last year.
Okay.
And I can't eat them all. And I can't throw them away. And so even
A lot of ketchup.
I do. I freeze them. I make marinara. But I can't throw anything away. So even if I can't use it, I dry them. I take the seeds. I put them in packs. Last year we gave away, I think, 1,300 packs of seeds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So different heirloom tomatoes, different peppers. I'm a pepperhead. Everything you can think of. We just love to have people come out and we feed them. We give them a whole bunch of plants. We have a great time. Last year, our first year, we had over 100 people show up, which was amazing to me. Last year, we more than doubled that.
That is awesome.
And this year, we plan to do it again. So it's always in early April, right when you can put them in the ground. Sure. But I start planting as soon as my wife will let me. It takes up a lot of space in the garage.
I hear you. So what's that Facebook page again so everybody can jump on that?
It is the Cleveland, Tennessee Garden Club.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. I did not know that about you.
Oh,
So
there you go.
I just learned something today too.
There it is.
So technology and tools.
Yeah.
Obviously real estate, just like the world, keeps changing. Now we have AI in everybody's life because whether you want it or not, it's here. And it's here to stay. But, talk about new tools or apps or online. What role does technology play, in how you are helping your clients buy and sell real estate?
Yeah. Technology plays a big role in how we serve Cleveland. Right, professional marketing, online platforms. There's lots of apps. We have our own website, adamsellstennessee.com and rare-properties.com. They're both websites. You can look for all the properties that are on MLSs that share data.
Okay.
And and I'm licensed in Georgia as well.
Okay.
So you can look there, and we do that. I do a lot of AI enhancements. I look for new ways. I watch the markets. I use it to give me market reports. We send out neighborhood market reports. We send out area market reports. Okay. Like I said, we use buyerprediction.com, which is Phil Stringer. Anybody that knows anything about AI knows who Phil Stringer is, but that's his site. And it's intuitive, and it gives you all the insight that's really hard to find. But, they take a geographical location and find everything around it. And then they use the internet and stream through it. Right. And if those things are interesting and they garner people's interest, then they tie it to that buyer. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. And allowing you to do that kind of, for a seller specifically,
sure,
to allow you to give that kind of streamlined marketing. I find that we can actually sell houses. I've gotten a few expired listings that I've gotten. Yep. That we're on
Expired means that it could not sell with the previous realtor before.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And there's an old saying that price is not always the question, but it's always the answer.
Right.
However, we had a couple that we changed the marketing strategy, and not only did we not have to lower the price, they sold for more than the list price was just by getting the right people in there. Because only two things dictate price in a house, and one is the market. I have no control over it,
right.
And one is marketing. I have all the control over it. So it's worth what someone will pay for it. Yeah. So if you get the person that wants to be next to that park, that wants to be in Ottawa across the street from Little Debbie, whatever it is. Right. If you get that person in that house, then you're going to get the top dollar for it. And I think we owe that to our clients.
Yeah, well, that's some great advice. And it's not as simple as just throwing it on the computer and praise your buyers automatically, right?
No, there's a lot of digging to do. A
little bit more detail than what people might perceive your role to be. So, what about challenging stories or success stories? Anything that you face in your career so far, and do you have any favorite success stories also as far as, that really captures why you love this business.
Yeah.
Right? We can all write a book as a realtor.
Yeah, we really can. I have a love for veterans. My kid brother, 10 years younger than me, he is a Master Chief in the Coast Guard still.
Congratulations. Thank you for his service.
My brother was in the Army, and he was in Desert Storm. So I have a real love for veterans and this country. And so I partner with Veterans United.
Okay.
And nobody on my team gets them. I'm the only one that does.
Good.
And I love watching their faces when they realize that the service that they did,
Right.
the reward is they get a home.
Yeah.
For their kids, for their wife, for themselves. I mean, I'll get choked up. I keep talking about it,
Sure.
but I love to go to their house day one, and I bring them a flag, and we put it in the yard.
Yeah. No, I love to see veterans get housing, and as we all know, veterans need to be treated a lot better, in our country, and that's a whole different conversation too. But for what they have done and what they continue to do for all of us, allows us, you and I right now, to be on a radio show.
100%.
And I think people forget about the little things you do every day is because somebody put their life on the line. And some, unfortunately, lost their life. Others got through it. But there's still the PTSD and everything else to deal with. And then the struggles of, like you said, finding housing. And there are VA programs out there, right, that people may not be aware of.
Absolutely. Right? I think the VA program, and I know it's coming out just semantics, but,
Sure.
People know about FDA and they know about USDA and they know about, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And, those are all companies, government companies, government, whatever you want to call them, that back securities for loans. But, the VA is the only one that guarantees it.
Yeah.
And so, they're guaranteed that loan. So if somebody sells to a VA, nothing bad happens to that bank. Nothing bad. So they're zero down. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal for a veteran,
sure.
Especially people who are just coming back from being deployed, because they don't have a whole lot of money, cash, but they got a check coming in, and they're not used to making those bills, sure. Right? Because they've been hadn't that paid, their food and their housing, whatever. But all of a sudden, they have an influx of cash because their pay changes, and but they don't have a down payment. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to talk to and watch them light up when you say, no, you can afford that.
Yeah, and people don't realize it.
Not at all.
And they just don't understand it. And so if there's a veteran out there and they're wanting to own a house, they need to call you, right?
Absolutely. I just closed with a veteran last month. He came looking for a house. Married, no children, but come looking for a house. And what I told him was, you can use the VA benefit for up to 4 doors.
Wow.
And so we found him a quad in Chattanooga. And so him and his wife are living in one 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhome. They own all 4 of them. And awesome. They got to take the rent that they'll get from the other 3 and use it as their income to qualify for that 4-plex. And still zero down.
Wow. See, that's a great story, and
he's building wealth.
Yeah, and that's a terrific way to look at that too. Is that not only did you get your home, you're building more wealth because of the additional units that you have.
Absolutely, so. And the other thing is we have a plan, because I don't just, like I said, it's all about lifelong relationships. Yeah. We have a plan in 4 or 5 years. Because you can only have one VA loan at a time.
Right. Yep.
We're going to do a refinance on it. Get as much cash as he can and go buy his dream home. He really wants to live in Lookout Mountain.
Yeah.
Those are big dollar houses.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden his income's even greater because now he's renting 4 units instead of 3. And he'll have a nice down payment, and we're gonna find him the house of his dreams.
That's an awesome story. I love that story. So, in our last few minutes here, so looking ahead, where do you see our market heading, right? Let's get that crystal ball out, in the next year or two. And, how do you think you and, Crye-Leike that you work with, they're going to continue to get our clients through those challenges and all the changes that are coming?
Honestly, I just think it's going to stabilize. Yeah. There's a couple of different things at play into the real estate market that the average Joe doesn't know, right? The biggest thing is, just in Tennessee, we're missing 14,000 homes, which means that we could build 14,000 homes and put a family in each one of them,
Right.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And
housing shortage.
Absolutely. And as long as we have more people than houses, prices aren't coming down.
Yeah.
They're just not. I do see, I have a lot of conversations with people and they go, oh, I see the prices are coming down. The only prices that are coming down are prices that were are houses that were overpriced already. Yeah. And so I don't really see that happening. I think that buyers and sellers are going to need more experienced agents, not less. Yeah. Because of the programs that we talk about, the knowledge that an experienced agent has that's willing to work for you and knows it's about relationship is invaluable. Because could anybody get you into that house? Sure, but what would $400 a month extra do for you? What would a 1,000 square foot house bigger do for you as a person that's getting into the housing market? I think Crye-Leike has all the tools and all the resources to help myself and my team, the Rare Properties team, to achieve those goals, to realize that market that levels out and being able to help everybody. One of the things, and I'll just say this real quick, is I don't find real estate to be adversarial. Right. Every time I get in a deal, I always call the other agent. I always call everybody and invite them to my side of the table, because I believe in negotiating from a position of power, and we're all on the same side. There is no better power. Yeah. And when we're all working together, man, there's nothing we can't accomplish.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, this is about the client's experience, not about the realtor's experience.
Real estate has so little to do with houses.
Yeah. This is somebody's life, and I've been in for a number of decades as well too, and you get across the table from the other realtor that kind of wants to make it all about them, and it takes away from that buyer and that seller's experience.
It does.
And as a licensed realtor, you're there to facilitate everything and get them to the goal, which is to buy or sell whatever side they're on, but not make it about yourself.
It's never about you. Yeah. That's the biggest thing about the code of ethics that people don't understand about real estate. The agency, I put their needs and wants above my own. Every time, without fail, I will never not do that, because it's what I do. It's what it means to be a realtor to me. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I really appreciate those comments. Give our audience, again, your contact information so they can have it. Absolutely. My phone number is 423-819-1781, and then my email is adamsellstennessee@gmail.com. It's the whole state. It out. I think the whole state deserves to be recognized. There you go. Spell it out. It's got a lot of letters, but spell it out. It's worth it. So, and your garden club, again, give that Facebook page. Absolutely. It is the Cleveland, Tennessee Garden Club on Facebook, and you'll see me and my plants and my kiddos and my dogs and everything. You'll see it. We put a lot up there. Next time you come on the show, you got to bring some of the brisket, your specialty here, and brisket's whatever items you cook. I mean, you got to give the host a little sample. I didn't know we were eating. I would have brought something. Can always do taste testing. That's right. That's right. So, any other last comments as we wrap up our show, Adam? I really appreciate you having me here, man. It's been really nice to talk to you and be able to talk to the people. I think it's awesome. Right. Go Cubs, right? Go Cubs. So fly the flag. There you go. So again, we got Adam Petty from Crye-Leike Realtors right here in Cleveland. Reach out to Adam. He's going to take care of you. If you're a veteran, definitely please reach out to Adam. He's going to put you on the right path, get you into housing. He's got a great tool of other support professionals that are going to get you guys there, right? Absolutely. Adam, we appreciate it. Thanks, Michael. Thank you. Do you imagine a career with flexibility and limitless income potential? It's possible by becoming a realtor. The River Counties Association of Realtors, located right here in Cleveland, Tennessee, is ready to help you unlock your potential. We're your go-to resource for guiding you to obtain your Tennessee real estate license. We're more than just realtors. We're a vital part of our community. Partnering with local charities, we work tirelessly to make a difference. Join the River Counties Association of Realtors today, where your career can thrive and community can too. Visit rivercounties.com or call 423-476-5912. Your new path awaits.